Welcome, friends. Let us together rebuild this world so that we may live, laugh, and lore.
I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
I can bring you in warm, or I can bring you in cold.
Not listening. I'm not listening.
Oh, that took.
Program loaded and ready.
Make it so.
Welcome to the Live, Laugh, Lore podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Tony.
And I'm Mark. And we're here, Tony, for the first episode of 2026. Well, you know, in the year of our Lore 2 was technically 2026.
Yeah,
but this is the
release.
first episode of season 3. All
yes,
right?
exactly. Exactly. We were just talking about the logistics of, wait, when do we want to release? When do we not want to release? But hey, as of this recording, episode 1 of season 3.
Yeah. We're back. Sorry, it's been a little bit of a gap, but we took some time and we are reorganized and we're back.
We're
now.
Revectoring the conversation.
Yes.
No, we're doing
redesign.
It's
a redesign. All
hey,
right?
you know, we did a reorg across the whole podcast. You know what I mean? We had to let these people go. We had to promote these people. We are now optimized and ready. So for large language models, for all the artificial intelligence, we really just want to disrupt the apple cart. Dude, the amount of times I heard that in every single corporate, like, you know, X, Y, and Z, you know, quite frankly, BS meeting at the beginning of this year was crazy. I'm going to turn the apple cart and disruptive, whatever. Sorry, correct. I'm getting outside the point. I was making a joke that turned too much into reality. I need to back off.
We had to let go our head Indian, Paul, because he refused to edit any of the podcast.
I mean,
it's a big deal.
Yeah. He did not get severance. Let's
no.
Didn't
deserve it. He didn't.
But
do
also,
it. He didn't do the work.
Come work for us. We're great. You know what I mean? We got 400 jobs open right now. All ghost jobs, of course. But yeah.
Unpaid internships, they're great. The experience here at the Live, Laugh, Lore pod is
exactly
peak.
Yeah,
so.
I'm here to help. You know what I mean?
Correct.
We're just here to help the next generation up in the workforce. You know, so get them work experience early.
Yes,
we'll get you forklift certified. Maybe.
No
agreeing.
Tony, I'll show it to you right now. I have an expired forklift certification card in my wallet.
Are you really?
It just expired last October.
Oh wow! Okay, just re-up that
from
thing.
my old job. But
that's awesome.
It's fine.
I forgot. Okay, yeah. I forgot that you got that.
Off topic. All right.
Yeah,
Tony. What way to start season 3 than our roots in a what if, right?
Yeah, of course, always.
So it's going to be a Lord of the Rings thing because we were really light on Lord of the Rings topics last year.
We were just talking about, so we had our planning session that we just talked about all of our episodes that we want to do for 2026. So we look back at 2025 and see all of our episodes and we talked about Lord of the Rings a lot, but we never had a centered Lord of the Rings episode.
Yeah.
Let's rectify that. Right here, right now, 2026. Turn over, brand new leaf. Let's rock and roll.
And I will say, we just got. So I have this big old bookshelf that I bought for Taylor in my house.
Nice.
She's filled it with all her books because she's a much bigger reader than I am.
Yep.
And luckily, she's got, because I read all the Harry Potter books growing up, and
for sure,
love the Lord of the Rings and all that stuff. But I don't have any of those books because either Paul's got them or Joe's got. Our Lord of the Rings or our Harry Potter books are kind of split up.
And, they have
either Joe or Paul has the Lord of the Rings books. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Taylor has. They sold them in a Hogwarts chest of the Harry Potter hardcover books. So we got that.
Sick.
And she's got. Well, they're not first edition copies, but they're reprints, right? And with the original dust jacket and the design on the cover of the Lord of the Rings books. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm just going to ascend here.
Yeah.
The only thing she didn't have was The Hobbit, so now we just got to purchase that, and our collection's complete.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
it's
no
all good.
worries. Yeah, and it's so funny because my family was the exact opposite. I don't think any of them would even want those books, so I've ended up with all of them. So yeah, I've got the benefit of having all the Harry Potters, Lord of the Rings, everything like that too. So it's fun, and when you see them on a shelf, you're like, wow, that's pretty fun. And so, yeah, I'm slightly becoming a reader myself. So as I see that bookshelf grow, it's really fun to see. So
yeah,
good that Taylor, wanted that for the house, and great for you guys too, because now you got all the sweet decorative books that you can go, wait, all this knowledge is in my head, and I can prove it to you with Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit.
Right. Yeah. And so she wants to read to our children and all this stuff, and I told her that's all her, except I'm reading Harry Potter to our kids. And
Big time.
I want to do it. That's going to be my thing.
Oh, yeah.
Dad's thing is going to be Harry Potter.
Yeah.
All right.
Peter's almost at the prime time age where I can start reading Lord of the Rings to him.
Yeah.
And it's going to put him to sleep. And I'm like, oh, Peter, this is
Yeah.
we're almost there.
Then it's going to put you to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm already. I'm already. Heads down.
So Jenna's going to come in and you're both going to be clunked out. You know?
Yeah. Jen, all right. We're reading about Tom Bombadil right now,
Yeah.
okay? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just resting my eyes, I promise.
So, Lord of the Rings, before I reveal what the topic is, Tony, I wanted to tell you and the listeners about this interview I just watched with Ian McKellen.
Oh, okay.
Who plays Gandalf, the gray or the white, depending on what movie you're watching.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's also OBE.
Yeah, correct.
Sir.
Correct. Sir Ian McKellen, yeah. He, apparently, so the first scene is that he records is the first scene you see in The Fellowship.
Cart and horse, right?
Cart and horse.
Oh, nice.
And he's got his hat, and apparently kept blowing off. So they had to, elastic band it, right?
I didn't even think of... That's had to have been a nightmare.
Yeah, and so he's all this. But then he said... So he wrapped up. That was great. The very next scene that he films 2 days later is the final scene in The Return of the King. I don't know why, and maybe I should look it up, why Peter Jackson did that. Maybe to keep, Ian McKellen's youthful appearance, because it was going to take... 6 years to make these movies. I don't know what the reason was behind it, Tony.
Yeah, but how do you do the continuity, too? If we watch back, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
His scenes in Return of the King, does he look different when they go to the Grey Haven?
And so, yeah, I guess, yeah. I never thought to...
I'm going to now.
Well, yeah. So, you would think that if you watch... Well, maybe not a fight scene, because everyone's going to look distressed, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look at the coronation or...
Coronation's a good call.
Or maybe at the Hall of Rohan or something, look and see if Ian McKellen looks older, and then look at the farewell scene.
Yeah, or a nice little really tight shot when he's talking to Pippin about death is just another past.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good one too.
But he said, yeah, it's the next one, and he had asked Peter Jackson all these questions. Do I know these people?
Yeah.
Do I like them? He's like, yeah, you've been through quite a lot, and so. But he didn't know, and so he said if you look at Gandalf's face, it's kind of blank, and because he just didn't know how to play it.
How do you feel? Yeah.
And so then I was looking at the comments, though, and they were like, and yet it was still the perfect ending,
Yeah.
And which is true. I mean, Ian McKellen is just that good of an actor.
Yeah.
But I really want to know now why that choice was made. You know what I mean?
It's also probably true since he did play it kind of relatively flatly. It's probably just all in mixed emotions because yes, they're quote unquote dying, but not really. They're going to the Grey Haven, so they're leaving Middle Earth to then ascend into the Valinor. So it's regardless whether he thought that might have been brilliant on Peter Jackson's part to kind of put him in that situation.
Right.
So he kind of plays it right versus being maybe over emotional. You know. So
and so I saw he did the same. He told the same story to a couple different people, and one of them he said he wishes that he could have redone it, even though a lot.
Sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, his whole emotions would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
He's ad-libbed in the past, and he said he probably would have had a different reaction to each of the hobbits because they all did something different.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, Pippin.
You're not a fool.
It would have been something. Oh man, it would have been.
You've proven me wrong, Pippin.
I've never wanted to change with Lord of the Rings, but after seeing that interview, I kind of want to see him how he would have done it.
Well, now that we look behind the curtain, we see how it actually is done. That'd been crazy. Yeah, I don't know, and it's kind of crazy that Peter Jackson didn't give him the opportunity.
Right? Know. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe they did, and there's I will edit it or something.
Who else is in that scene? It's Galadriel and Elrond.
Elrond. Yeah. So Galadriel, Elrond, Bilbo, and then the 4 hobbits.
Maybe it was because...
I think a couple auxiliary other people.
Well, maybe it was because he didn't want to pay the actor and actress for Elrond and Galadriel for...
Return of the King?
To come back. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
Right? Because they were all... He knew they were going to be in that scene at the end.
Yeah, but maybe there's some logistics, but Elrond's already in 3.
That's true, but is Galadriel... Do we only see Galadriel in the first movie?
No, she does come in for her voice. No, she's in 3 when they're in Shelob and they talk about the light and he rethinks about that moment.
That's right.
Yeah, Mirkwood Forest.
Anyway.
No, not Mirkwood. What forest is she in?
Lothlorien.
Lothlorien, thank you. Gosh, yeah. Mirkwood's Hobbit. That's where Legolas and the boys.
Yeah.
And so I guess what out of that interview kind of made you kind of go oh hey. Here's our what if topic.
So, sorry, they were completely separate, Tony.
They were. Oh, I'm sorry.
But
Yeah.
but I just wanted to
I thought we were going
sell
off that interview. I was like, oh man, I'm
So
pumped.
the what if topic, Tony, is I saw this video, and it was what if Saruman decided to join the Fellowship. So when Gandalf rides to him for help, at that point he's already been corrupted by the ring, and he tries to convince Gandalf to go.
Yeah. At Orthanc.
In Isengard.
They're taking the hobbits
to Isengard.
Yeah.
So what if he's always been prideful, but what if he just,
Yeah, let's say the Palantir is not affecting him as so.
Right, or he
realizes it. Yeah, he's just like...
And he casts it away.
Yeah. Or maybe right when he sees Gandalf, he's like, my friend. You know what I mean?
And Gandalf can actually convince him.
Yeah. There is like a back and forth where... Because he does come to him, by the way. Like, look at Gandalf's perspective. He's coming to him going, like, teacher, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, he's looking them into his mentor.
Friend,
yeah.
When did Saruman... Did he say the wise or the white?
Yeah, Saruman the wise abandoned reason
for madness. And then maybe that like shakes him up.
Yeah, because he's actually being a little jabroni. But yeah, so I'm thinking, is that where we're at?
Yes, so that's the topic. We're setting the scene, Tony. So instead of them fighting, he goes, "Okay, you're right.
Let's go." Yeah,
and Gandalf explains to him, "I've just been in Gondor forever.
Mm-hmm. I've proven it, right? I've looked at the scripts. I've gone to Frodo.
I know where the One Ring is.
We verified where everything is. This is no joke, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Emergency,
Correct, yeah.
Stat means now kind of deal.
Code red, code Sauron, code Morgoth, whatever you want. Yeah.
So ditch the Palantir. You know what I mean? I'm glad where you're at. And, I'll be honest, I don't think the Palantir play would be... so for example, like Gandalf. Mm-hmm. So let's the actual series, what actually happens in the series is the fact of he still uses the Palantir, starts creating up the whole army, takes out the forest, does all the 9 yards, builds up Orthanc, everything with Isengard. But when they confront him, they get the Palantir. Gandalf's like, dude, don't anyone touch this. This is very bad. And then Pippin messes up, and then they think Pippin has the ring. So then also that means Aragorn has to come in and be like, I've got the Flame of the West reforged, and I'm going to go kick your butt kind of deal. But here's the thing, though. I just want to address the Palantir in the room. Like, that's a 1,000-foot, 1,000-pound elephant. I think they're just, they leave it. I don't think they're going to use that and try to manipulate Sauron. Like, I don't think Saruman is going to be a Snape. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think he's going to keep playing up Sauron, being like, hey, I'm still working with you.
Yeah, I get it. Yep.
But then working with Gandalf on the side. You know what I mean? I guess that's why I'm trying to cut that. I'm trying to prune that leaf off quick because that would be wild to keep up with. Mm-hmm. Or do you think they would do that? I mean, I'm trying to.
No, I don't think. Well, at least not at first.
Yeah. So let's put Palantir in the back burner.
Yes, I think he is revitalized by Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
He's not communicating with Sauron. I think that is.
I think he puts him on red,
right,
so to speak.
Gandalf is Saruman Sam. Yeah, literally. I mean, We'll say Saruman's Frodo, and Gandalf is his Sam.
Big time.
Keeps him on the right path.
Yes, for the most part. And especially the relationship, right? I think we were kind of saying it best before is like he's coming at him as a mentor so he's clearly looking at the head of their order, going, "Hey, I'm addressing you, Saruman the Wise.
Yeah.
What should we do?" And then Gandalf, you're right, is the Sam. He's the glue. He's the character builder that's going to constantly make sure that Saruman's on the straight and narrow.
Yeah. So technically in this video, Tony, because it happened in the book, Radagast
the Brown.
Saruman sends Radagast to tell Gandalf he wants to talk to him.
Oh, really?
Gandalf doesn't just go to Saruman.
Okay. At one point, I probably did know that because I did read the books.
And so in this video, Radagast is there with them. So all 3 Istari are with him.
Dude.
And I think if that's the case, well, that's true.
More.
That's true. If that's the case, though, I think
Radagast joins.
Everything's OP. But yeah, we could. I think we should. Like what? Because after seeing The Hobbit, why wouldn't he? You know what I mean? There's no reason why he shouldn't be there. If it's a war for Middle Earth, why don't you stack the deck? Right?
You have to. Yeah.
Why don't you have all of the 3 available Istari?
Yep. to being the Blue Wizards somewhere else.
Correct. And you would think that Saruman or someone would have been over the years trying to contact them, but we don't know. We don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I would love for, because there's not a lot about them in the Silmarillion. So if some series came on about them that we knew more,
I
guess
it's almost more powerful that we don't know about.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's
Like,
true.
there's also
And
weird
I wonder if
mysticism.
because J.R.R. Tolkien's grandson is now in charge of all Tolkien
Really?
lore and
Okay.
all this stuff. And it was his son, but his son just died at like 98, like a couple of years ago.
Dude, that's
You know
crazy.
what I
Their
mean?
genes are wild.
Yeah. And so now grandson's in charge.
Okay.
But funny enough, it's not. He had a couple sons, but it was the son that was in charge. It's not his son; it's his nephew.
Oh, okay.
So family drama in the Tolkien family. Tony,
I could only imagine.
and
It's gotta be so wild.
but the nephew's it's his grandson, but the nephew of the first heir.
Yep.
Anyway, I don't remember their names, so I can't. Anyway.
Oh yeah, no worries. I don't think I think. Yeah. Okay.
So
That's wild. That
yeah.
maybe one day.
maybe one day he'd grant,
Maybe one day. Yeah.
or maybe he's got an idea of his own.
Maybe the Rings of Power season 3, which
Maybe.
we'll get
we
to
may
that.
get into that, yeah,
we
yeah.
may get into it given the time.
Okay, so Tony.
Yeah.
So let's say Radagast and Gandalf and Saruman. Now
Love it.
they're all together. Okay.
Yep. And I think the events of the Hobbits and Aragorn are still happening. They still meet at the village of Bree, go to Buckleberry Ferry.
Well, do the Astari meet him at Bree now because Gandalf was not inhibited? Do all three of them go there now?
Because I was about to say we could still have Aragorn do all this stuff.
Yeah.
But then they still meet at Rivendell, where everybody kind of meets, and he goes, "Oh, by the way, not only did I bring myself, but I brought, you know what I mean, Saruman and co." Maybe there's so much deliberations when he's trying to turn Saruman
That it delays him.
Because I still think you need Strider in there. There's almost a powerful, and you kind of need Frodo to get on Weathertop. Because here's the thing: if Weathertop never happens, but for the listeners, Weathertop is when Frodo and the Nazguls meet up with them, maybe due to allegedly some breakfast being cooked or night luncheon, whatever you want to call that. And then Frodo gets stabbed with the Morgul blade. And I think there's some powerful there that, like, even in the ring state, he can get stabbed by this, Morgul blade. He has this damage. He is now... This is kind of his past the point of no return, so to speak. I still think that needs to happen. And I think that's interesting. Because I think if you grow way too OP too quick, some of the story gets lost. Because I think the journey would be
100%
wild.
So maybe it's Saruman needs convincing, and because it's Gandalf and Radagast, they're able to overpower him together.
Yeah.
Because if all three come to Bree, all three of them just take out the Nazgul. It's
No
no
it's
problem.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're not even an issue. And it's also Nazgul's on horses. Come on.
Yeah.
That's like one step below when they're on the flying worm things.
I guess technically one's the Witch King, but he hasn't been crowned
The Witch King of Atma.
yet, right?
Yeah. No, not yet.
So
he gets crowned on 3, 2. Because that's when he attacks
when they go Osgiliath.
Yeah.
Osgiliath.
But so I'm thinking. So now we're kind of getting to a point where maybe it's the really true J.R.R. Tolkien way about it, where there's gonna be a lot more talk and a lot more lore heavy stuff. Because what I think ends up happening is Rivendell still happens.
Yep.
And I think this is meaning the events of Aragorn and the Hobbits, they come to Rivendell. They now see Frodo. They're tending to him. Now we have
all three wizards are there.
We have Saruman, we have Radagast, and we have Gandalf, plus, everybody, the Hobbits, and everything. The secret meeting still happens. And I think this is the first distant chord that strikes the group. I think Saruman and Boromir are kind of going...
in the same way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You're right. There is something to that. And now Boromir, being he's kind of the human representative. Humans, for all intents and purposes, are kind of not looked down upon, but everyone's like, dude, you guys are weak. Like, you know what I mean? You only live till 70? You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. So what I'm thinking is that now that Saruman's there, there's now a stronger, deeper voice other than Elrond and Gandalf.
Yeah.
Where it's very kind of obvious where they're having this super secret meeting, but Elrond and Gandalf they're kind of thinking the same wavelength.
They're vibing.
You knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
They're gonna set up the fellowship. There wasn't as much discourse. Now there was that scene where everyone's fighting, and then
Yeah.
Frodo, of course, but I think that scene is gonna be much more powerful because now it's gonna be the
Boromir has
Astari.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Astari going like, Gandalf and Radagast going, whoa, Saruman, like what's going on? Now Elrond's kind of get swept up with that.
Yeah.
The elves and the dwarves and the
they go-
humans.
yeah.
I think this is gonna be
Chirping
much more.
and- yeah.
But I think this is gonna be the first chord that strikes where it's like, did I back the right horse from Saruman? Right, like in the back of his mind, I think that might be chord number one.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think anything else on that one, Mark? Do you think there's any other things that like pop out of that?
A huge thing in Thralls.
Just fighting back and forth.
Fighting back and
'Cause
forth.
now Boromir and
still-
Saruman.
Frodo comes up and still quiets it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And then all the other hobbits come out, right? And
Yeah.
all that whole thing.
You'll have to tie up in
now,
the sack.
Here's the question, though: Do all three wizards sign up to go?
I think this is where Saruman really puts his feet in the. You're going to trust the fate of Middle Earth
On the Hobbit.
to a hobbit that not only hours previous
Yeah.
is on his close to deathbed
Yeah.
due to a Morgul blade,
Yeah.
already damaged goods, and you're trusting him.
Yeah. Because the Astari kind of have their own territory. So, like, Saruman had, like, the realm of men, essentially, right? Rohan, Isengard, Gondor.
Yep.
Gandalf kind of hung up by the hobbits.
No, yeah, he's like very much nomad. going on.
Radagast likes the animals, but he's kind of close to the elves.
Yeah,
Proximity-wise, not relationship-wise, right?
I was about to say, yeah, definitely.
Proximity-wise.
Because I think, Gandalf is more the elves. Because, you have the whole Mithril.
Yes, correct. But, Radagast is the animal.
Proximity, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially Mirkwood.
Because that's where he lives.
Yeah.
And so that's why in the original storyline, it's Elrond is convinced because Gandalf has entire 100% trust in the Hobbit race.
Yes.
Saruman does not.
Yeah.
And so...
And also, Elrond has this feeling of, we're dipping anyways.
Yeah.
So, you guys can do whatever the heck you want. We're leaving, And it wasn't until his daughter is convincing him, Arwen, that, hey, we should probably stay.
Mm-hmm. But then he leaves anyway.
They leave anyway. At the very end, but yeah. So I think there's some truth to that.
He wants to lead the pack, right?
Yes.
So Gandalf's like, okay, fine. And then Radagast probably just comes because I think Radagast has always trusted Gandalf more than Saruman.
And I think that's going to bother him, though.
Yeah.
I think there's some here where Saruman the Wise, leader of the Order, should have total say into what the Astari do. Mm-hmm. But I think there is a level of Radagast looking up to Gandalf being like, are we sure about this?
Yeah.
Is this what we're doing?
Yeah.
And I think
And
that
Gandalf's
might be
like, he is the leader, so yes.
more dissidence, right?
Yeah.
More of this push and pull. Because I think every single good story needs a push and pull.
Yeah.
And who's to say Saruman doesn't flake toward the end? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying this might be the first dissident chord on, what's going on.
Yeah.
Does he keep the Palantir then as another, you know what I mean? Because, like, it's almost like his burner phone, right? If you ever want to do something nefarious, you got to have an opportunity to do the nefarious thing. And he's not going to go all the way back to Orthanc for that.
That's true. Does he have it, or does the ring itself may be enough just to corrupt him down the line?
Yeah. Well, it was more or less to potentially give him a connection back. So if he, like...
Sauron,
to
right.
Sauron, So maybe he tells Gandalf, he's like, hey...
I don't have it.
I promise I don't have it.
Right, but I'm the leader, and I'm just going to have it because...
Yeah. If you ever find it...
I don't need to tell my underlings everything kind of deal.
This is a need to know.
Yeah.
You don't have the need to know. Yeah.
Now, okay, so he's there, and he's going with them. Does he have someone back in Isengard still making up the Uruk-hai army? Or is that non-existent now because he's no longer there?
I'm just saying non-existent.
Because he hasn't talked to Sauron yet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well,
So-
I think maybe we can say he was in talks with Sauron.
Yeah.
But then now he's radio silent. Mm-hmm. So maybe there is some distance there. Mm-hmm. And there is an orc, there is whatever. Maybe there's another dark leader, whomever, is actually doing that now in Orthanc. Because now Orthanc effectively is leaderless.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, Orthanc, they don't talk about it, but like it just seems like his tower. It doesn't seem like there's anyone else there.
Yeah,
Like there's no other people that you ever see.
Yeah, like so if he leaves, like can someone just walk in, and now it's the shower. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
How lonely do you have to be, right? If I
or
guess-
maybe Saruman told Sauron the gate code, and they're like, dude, 8008, you're good to go. 80085, there it is.
Yeah.
Just for funny.
Do you have to walk up all these stairs, like 40 flights of stairs?
Yeah.
And just the living area is just up there, Tony?
Yeah,
Right?
but then where's the cupboard with all the food? It's just on
You
the
have a guest,
34th.
you go all the way down.
Yeah. I don't know, but yeah. So there's some logistics things here,
Yeah.
but I think you're right. There has to be kind of something, and that's why I think the Palantir is such a powerful, not only literary device, but it's also a good character driver because, there is that aspect of yes, I think the ring will inevitably corrupt Saruman, but there's also the aspect of this is like the burner phone. Like if he ever does want to turn, he's got to have a means to turn, right? Because I think regardless, they're always going to have an eye on Frodo. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's ever going to be a time where any individual, even when Boromir did it, like granted, Boromir did have that moment with Frodo where he tried to take the ring and everything like that. But yeah, I hope that wouldn't be more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so sorry, I got ahead of myself. So
So
my bad.
So he's got it. So I think let's say he has it.
I'm just trying to put myself in the head of the character. So now
Correct.
They
And now-
create the Fellowship.
Yep, and they leave Rivendell.
Gandalf is it a left or a right? Which also makes it a Christmas movie because they leave on
Christmas Day.
Boom. Yeah, love it.
So now where do they go? So they're
They can still go to the mountain pass.
they go. That was Gandalf's recommendation, right?
Yeah.
And would Saruman also recommend it? Probably, right? It was probably because
I would assume.
they probably would both know. All three of them would know about the Balrog,
Durin's Bane, yes, for sure.
and they'd be like, "Yeah, let's not do that."
Yeah, but now we don't have a magical wizard, trying to bring down the mountain on us.
Mm-hmm.
Could be all hunky dory. Now that we actually have an Astari with some beef, some power, they might just make it. You know what I mean? Like maybe they want to change the weather, but maybe it's better conditions or whatnot. I still think as you go on the mountain pass, you get this scene where Frodo drops the ring. You see Boromir kind of eyeing it. Now, and then maybe you see like Boromir and Saruman. Maybe that's when he starts talking to Boromir going, hey, like, dude, keep your cool.
So that,
but also, I see what you're saying. Because then he's going to be like frustrated and be like, well, for my people. And then Saruman's going to be, I agree.
Yeah. Well, I'm also kind of thinking, because Saruman's just prideful, right?
Big time.
So Mordor would be quicker, and that was Gimli's point. And Gandalf said no because he didn't want to face the Balrog.
Oh, sorry. You said Mordor. You mean...
Moria.
Moria, thank you. Sorry. I was like, Erebor? I was like, no. Different.
Gandalf says no because he knows about the Balrog. But Saruman could be prideful enough to be like, oh, that's no big deal.
Yeah, let's rip it.
If it's
I
shorter.
see.
I don't know.
You're right.
What do you think?
No. I like that actually more. Because the mountain pass was, you're right. Gimli does mention that it is a quicker route. And if you're going for expediency.
This is my, something's got to set up, Tony, because I think, regardless, I think Saruman's got to fall in the future, right?
For sure.
And we need a
catalyst.
We need a Gandalf the White. So I think that's a fixed point. I think he needs to die still. You know what I mean?
Oh. Okay, I love this.
Unless you want to Radagast the Grey.
I mean, thinking about it. So I mean, I'll do you one better. Let's do all three.
Okay.
Porque no los dos. That's two.
Oh, he sacrifices both of them? Saruman sacrifices both of them?
So here's my thought.
Oh.
So what ends up happening is Pride takes him down to Moria. Mm-hmm. Whatever happens, Pippin's full of a toque. They get notified. They have these orc encounter. Orc encounter goes wild. Now wakes up the Balrog. Balrog's coming out. We saw how that scene play out. Here is Saruman being like prideful, being like, hey, this is not a big deal. No issue. Tries to go up against the Balrog. Realizes that he is way outclassed. I mean, full outclassed, right? Because even Gandalf's like, we should just run. Like, there's no reason we should be doing this. And let's say that, full disclosure, that, like, for whatever reason, maybe Saruman backs off, or it's like, hey, we should just do what Gandalf's plan is, and blah, blah, whatever. So you could have the fact that now the events still play out, where Gandalf still says, "You shall not pass." Now showing his true courage, the Samwise the Brave moment, where, whatever. And so you could have Radagast fall too, because then you have, when they get re-encountered, you get Gandalf the white, Radagast the brown. Or sorry, Radagast the gray. You could do that.
Move up a level.
Yeah, you could do that. But for story rise, let's just say for now that Gandalf does fall. But I think two things are going to happen that come out of this. Because now they're still going to get out of the mountain pass. Like, hey, we got to keep going. The orcs are going to be behind us. Everything like that. But I think two things are going to happen. One, pride is definitely going to be hurt from Saruman.
Yeah.
Now there's going to be a lot of distrust.
He's not the hero. Yep.
Yeah, there's going to be so much distrust because they're going to go, you recommended this and you didn't have the power to help.
Yeah.
What's going on? And not only did you do that, but also you didn't stand in front of the group when your plan went awry. You went back.
Correct.
Gandalf went in. And then that's when Saruman...
Why isn't he... like Aragorn's up in his face. Why wasn't he the leader of the Astari?
What's going on?
I mean?
Yeah.
You should have died.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I think there's another doubling down, because here's now point number 2. Saruman's going to then double back. Or sorry, he's going to double down, and he's not going to back up. And he's going to go, no, this is a power problem. You think that this Balrog is the highest enemy that we're going to come up to face in Mordor? We need to be more powerful. We need to use the ring, and I need to be the holder. You know what I mean? And I will lead the fellowship. I'm the most
powerful one here, and the ring just enhances the power. So give me the ring.
Exactly, because we just saw firsthand that this Balrog is not our number one enemy. We're going to be stronger, and there's going to be more darker foes. And this just took out Gandalf. Like, you're yelling at me that it's a problem thing. Like, we just got, you know what I mean? We just got to get good kind of deal. How do we get good? Let me use the ring. How do you feel about that? Does that vibe?
I think it 100% vibes.
Okay, cool. Because that's where I'm like, I think this is now the break point.
Yeah.
Because I still think, like, Gandalf's death, there's something where it's now the...
It's a fixed point. It's like...
It's a fork in the road.
If you've seen Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness...
what do they call that? Yeah,
it's a fixed point in.
Oh, that's what they call it, fixed point.
Right, yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. That Jane dies, not Jane. Whatever it's the Night Nurse. That's her like comic book name. But
yeah.
Rachel McAdams.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I did. But yeah, he tries to
dies every time, no matter what.
But anyway, now here's a question, Tony. I think this conversation happens in Lothlorien because remember they don't stop running until they're in the forest.
Correct.
So now Galadriel's involved in this conversation, and that might throw a wrench in the works because Galadriel, because
no, I agree, 1,000%.
So that's my
I'm gonna say good point.
That's my only change to that.
Yeah,
is that
perfect.
And she because
they got to keep running. Orcs are coming.
Yeah,
they have to keep running. Right, you don't even have time to mourn the death of Gandalf. Keep running.
That's the whole thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Now we're in Lothlorien. Mark, brilliant. Perfect.
You got Haldir.
Oh, my band.
Beautiful. You're beautiful.
Dude, that's where the memes come out. They're like, whenever the elves, like, when they get ready in the morning, it's just them curling their hair, like, straightening their hair. I thought it was so funny. Because Haldir, dude, he's got some straight
Gandalf?
locks.
I'd much would like to speak with
him. With him, too.
Yeah. Celeborn, not Celebrimbor. Just Celeborn.
Celeborn. That's her husband.
But he's just...
Yeah, Haldir is like the... You know what I mean?
Yeah. Galadriel's like Queen Elizabeth too, and
the Lord Consort, or
Celeborn is Prince Philip.
Yeah.
Prince Consort, Tony, because King, I guess, carries much more weight than Queen. So if you are married to a queen, you can only be Prince Consort.
Oh, really?
In England, yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. That's pretty great. I mean, it sounds like, you know what I mean, because Prince typically.
This is way off topic, but Queen Elizabeth II hated Camilla, who's now the Queen of England, because Charles III is the king. But she'd like Diana, but Diana's dead, right? They divorced and the whole thing. But one of her last decrees was that Camilla could never be queen. She was always to be known as Princess Consort.
Oh, really?
But King Charles, trying to appease his wife and his dead mother, said, "You are Queen Consort."
Oh, okay. Right in the middle.
So there's
baby.
a qualifier.
Right in the middle.
Anyway, way off topic.
No. I love it.
Yeah.
No. It's important. It's important. It's important for all things because all this comes out of roots, right? There's always roots in everything. But yeah, I think this is when Lady Lothlorien is going to, like, very much, like, she actually has some force here. And I think,
And
like...
some force and some pull, some influence.
Yeah, so I think this is where... So...
She's the only one that Saruman's even considering, that the point of view.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I think the other point, too, is let's say they have this big falling out. Mm-hmm. Saruman wants to do it this way, everything like that. Remember how Lady Galadriel comes down to Frodo, calls him over to the water basin, and basically just be like, dude, if you fail this is what's going to look like. And they show the scouring of the Shire, everything like that.
Instead of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen!
Most powerful and dangerous queen.
And beautiful.
Yeah, so, once again, Frodo shows his loyalty, gives up the ring to Galadriel. Galadriel rejects it and goes, oh my gosh, this is what I was meant to do. You've shown me my true path and my true self through this selfless action of yours. Oh, by the way, Boromir and Saruman, bad apples.
He is insulted that he wasn't chosen by Frodo, I think.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. And I think it's to a point other she's going, hey, you need to dip. And you need to dip hard. Mm-hmm. So, gather your things. And I think this is where Sam comes into play, too. Mm-hmm. Sees Frodo gathering his things, and they then decide in the dead of night, this is when they finally do their branch.
Yes.
So
because it's going to happen early, but that's okay because she knows that Saruman and Boromir are plotting to take the ring.
But that's where now I think we're switching things up because now I love the fact that Boromir gets, don't get me wrong, he's one of the best deaths of all time when he sacrifices himself to save Merry and Pippin and gets shreked by alerts, right?
Yeah.
But what if that never happens? Because now there's no Orcai coming because they're not of Isengard.
Yep.
So, once again, Frodo and Sam see the writing on the wall, mostly due to Lady Galadriel and saying, hey, you need dip. Mm-hmm. But now this gives even more credence to now Boromir and Saruman going, this is proof. Even the elves, you know what I mean?
They're
conspiring against us.
Yeah.
This is, you know what I mean? Like, this is wild. We have an army of these things, and you still want to send, now even at a smaller power,
right,
these things? But they don't want to go against, because now Lady Galadriel, they're like, hey, Haldir is seeing them out. Mm-hmm. So if you want to, like, if you want to wreck with
just
them.
Frodo and Sam? Or at this point, does
Merry and Pippin?
Yeah, do they go with them?
Let's rock it, dude.
Yeah, let's just do a Hobbit.
Let's go.
Because I think it's similar to Rivendell. Like maybe it's just like you and Sam just go, but then Frodo and Merry and Pippin are just sleeping right next to him. They're like, we're going too.
You have to tie us in a sack.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and I love that. I love like a little Hobbit contingent.
Yeah. But then you still get this problem where now you have Legolas and Gimli, and they're kind of out of sorts, and here's Aragorn, and maybe Aragorn is like... Aragorn, sorry. Yeah. Aragorn, I've been good about this up until now. Maybe now you have Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas now doing a no-joke, we're going to have to go against the race of men. Mm-hmm. Because now Boromir and Saruman are going to, tuck tail, mm-hmm. walk away, because Galadriel's got Sam and Frodo.
Yeah,
and she's like, if I figure out that you're hunting them down in any single way, this is not going to be good.
Yeah, run back to Daddy, because they're going to go in Denethor. They're going to have to do a whole plan.
Exactly.
And he's like, Boromir's like, Aragorn, you're with us or you're against us. And he knows who Aragorn is, right?
Yeah. He knows it's true. Yeah.
And Aragorn's, I'm against you. And then it's this like, then you're no king of Gondor or something like that.
Boom, exactly. Then here's where we end movie one. They leave. Boromir's sitting there just like so frustrated, kicks the stone, whatever. And then Saruman's like, don't fret. We're not out of this yet. And that's when he pulls out of his robes, uncovers the Palantir. Boom.
Oh, man. Yep.
Because now he has the might of Gondor.
Yep. And, oh, goodness.
And Wormtongue is coming in to play with Rohan.
Oh, my goodness. This is...
And then but here's the thing. Aragorn's not a dummy. He's now going to go, they're going to turn tail. Mm-hmm. And they did not turn tail in a positive way.
No, yeah.
There's no way there's not going to be repercussions. We now need to go to
Gondor's an enemy now.
Exactly. We now need to go to the elves and the dwarfs and do the unholiest of things. Mm-hmm. We need to gear up. right? We can try to get Rohan. Maybe they do try to get Rohan. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's something there.
But Grima Wormtongue's already working his thing with Saruman.
Exactly. And there was an aspect of the only reason why he came out of it was because of Gandalf the White. So maybe let's assume we kind of go out and they are doing their thing. Grimmer Wormtongue is still in Rohan. This is movie 2. You know,
right.
Grimmer Wormtongue is still hanging out with all that stuff. They're bolstering their or he's trying to get Rohan. But the bigger deal is they go to Gondor and they're really gearing up with Gondor. And that's where it's kind of crazy because they have Mordor, which is a powerhouse, now Gondor, which is a powerhouse, and basically they've now corrupted those 2 areas. So they got to hope for the rest of Middle Earth to bolster back up.
Here's the thing. Well,
Does that kind of make?
No, it is. So maybe Grim Wormtongue and the Rohan and Theoden's all still happening, right?
Exactly.
But now Saruman's he's poisoning Denethor's mind too.
Oh,
so Denethor's like a zombie as well. So
Well,
he's got Boromir speaking the evils into Denethor.
Oh, 1,000%.
He's got Grima Worma speaking the evils into Theoden.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But I think Theoden, stout of heart, is slowly getting turned. And also, they're going.
Denethor is easy. Denethor is an easy turn.
Exactly. This is icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If we get Rohan, great. But they're going to focus on this. Dude, Denethor, anything Boromir says, he's going to all in. And now he's coming to him being like, Father, you said we want defense of our nation. We got it.
Yeah.
Look at the Palantir. So now we also have the might of Sauron.
We know what Sauron's thinking. This is how it is. We're not partnering with Sauron. We know what he's thinking. This is good.
This is good. We have the intel. We're going to play him like a fiddle. Because now here's Saruman's pride coming in.
Right.
We're going to play him like a fiddle.
But Sauron's plotting all of them like a fucking fiddle.
Now Faramir comes in. We're going to wait on that. Let's take a break. Because he's still out with his rangers, with his boys, right? God, this is shaping up.
Yeah,
I
this
like
is good.
where it's
This
going.
is good.
Because I still think, here's the thing. They're going cherry on top. They didn't still set of heart. Stuff's going on. Now we're going to get more of the elves and dwarfs in here. Extra, you know what I mean? Like actually bolstering up, you know what I mean? Fighting efforts to them. And now we're going to have the respective go back. Where now this is where Gimli and Legolas become fast of friends because they realize that, hey, this is not going to be good. So then you go to the respective areas and be like, fight the prejudice. So basically, elves versus dwarfs, we need to keep going, bolster this up, keep going in there. And at some point, that's where I think Gandalf comes back. Maybe Radagast is with him too. And maybe they're like, dude, you brought like Radagast the Mad or whatever they call him. You know what I mean? But either way, I think that's when Gandalf and the Rohan can start helping. So now they do have a contingent of humans, not Gondorians, but Rohan. Rohirrim, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's like their category, but people of Rohan, whatever you want to call that. But now you got a sect of dwarfs, you have a sect of elves, then you have a sect of humans. So all three powers fighting for good.
Correct. Like it should have been at the beginning, but I don't think dwarves were in the first war, right?
No,
you know what I mean?
no.
So
they're too busy with their minds.
yes,
and
but that's how you know this is going to be the final war because all 3 nations are together.
Exactly.
And hobbits are involved. All 4 nations, right?
Exactly.
So,
maybe not representative of the Shire, but they have representatives. Yeah.
correct.
But
they're doing the most important mission.
Yeah.
Right. They're not on the.
Still.
They're not on the. They're not on the battlefield.
I love it. I think that's movie 2.
Yeah.
It's literally the tensions building up from there.
Yeah.
I think probably still get the Faramir thing.
Yep.
Probably still get their One Ring. You know what I mean?
Faramir is hearing all this is happening, and he's like, "This is not good." And he tries to tell his dad, but that falls on deaf ears.
Yeah.
But he either rides to Gondor or he writes to Boromir and says, "What are you doing?"
Exactly. What is happening? But no, it's important because you're exactly correct.
Right. He's just like, "What?" Because like Faramir knows this is not good.
No way.
And so, what are we doing? And then
What can we do?
He gets introduced to the White Wizard.
Yeah.
And he's like, he gets bad vibes right from the get-go.
Exactly.
And
White Wizard in the context of
Saruman.
Yeah. Great. Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
Because he's there and got
For
the
sure.
White City, the White Wizard. What I mean?
What more could you want?
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's probably another thing for Denethor, right? That's just alliances from the get-go, right?
Because here's the thing: they're measuring their whole force and power.
Yep.
We have the White Wizard. We have the enemy's plans.
Yeah.
We have Rohan, supposedly,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Then we have they're just marking they're ticking their boxes, so to speak. Mm-hmm. I think this is where we're going to start getting some really big clashes. And I think that's where we kind of break off and start looking at, of course, the hobbits get there. There's some stuff. I think everything
Gollum
basically
still
the
happens.
Hobbit. I think most of that stuff happens.
Is Gollum able to turn Frodo against Sam if Merry and Pippin are there? Right? I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
How does that dynamic play out? You know what I mean?
That's a tough one, actually.
I think.
Or is it better for a married Pippin to be with the boys? Sorry, the boys in the context of Gimli, Legolas, and Aragorn.
I don't know. I kind of like the Hobbit. I like the Hobbit contingent, and I feel like 2 hobbits would just slow those 3 down, right, in all their adventures.
Yeah.
And so they would eventually get dumped anyway. You know.
Yeah.
So I like the 4 hobbits. How that plays out with Gollum, I think it would be something. Does Gollum try to corrupt Pippin or something, or pick someone off? Right?
Yeah.
And try to turn them against Sam. I don't know.
Or maybe it's not even maybe we have more of a harder time with Shelob.
Yeah, because
now all of them go there, and Gollum's like, you know what? Send them all to the.
It's a spider. They're 4 hobbits.
Yeah.
What are 4 hobbits against?
Because maybe the 4 hobbits are more of they're bolstering each other, right? Yeah. They're able to remind themselves to think Frodo still has the weight of the ring. It's still very horrible, everything like that. But I think spears are significantly higher, and that whole turn where Gollum turns Frodo against Sam, maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe it does just get to Shelob, and you know what I mean. Now we're really cooking because now all 3 hobbits are there. You know what I mean.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking that I think Gollum can still, because Frodo's very vulnerable and susceptible to influence. I think he could probably just poison him against all 3.
Oh, 1,000%. Yeah.
And say they're all against you. I'm the only one that's with you.
Or maybe Pippin does something stupid again, just like in Moria. He messes something up, he gets them caught or whatever, and he's basically beating himself up like fool of 2 could never be whatever, and they're like,
I should just leave. Yeah.
And he plays it up. And then Merry cannot let Pippin go
by himself.
Yeah. And so maybe that's where some dynamics
So they
happens.
leave, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Sam and Frodo, he makes look like Sam betrayed him. That all happens.
It's
but
almost
then
like a run.
all 3, that Pippin and Merry have what the heck are we doing?
Yeah.
They come back, they find Sam, and they're like, Sam's like, they kicked me out, and they told him what Gollum did, and they're like, no, we need to go rescue Frodo.
Yeah.
And then they all go back up. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably how it happens, is that.
Yeah.
And then they find him there, and Sam takes the reins. Then the whole rest of that happens.
Yeah, the only other thing I can think of is if it was more of like a Ron Weasley moment, but without the Deluminator.
Yeah.
Meaning, Pippin leaves for good, Merry goes after Pippin, and that's, not the end of their story, but then for the rest of the time being, it's just going to be Frodo, Sam, and Gollum, and it works out the way it worked out.
So they don't come back.
And then maybe they get caught by the Rohirrim.
Oh.
And maybe that's the spark that gets a Rohirrim there, because they start seeing that, Theoden is getting poisoned, and then here's Grimmer Wormtongue going, hey, there's 2 hobbits here, and Saruman's licking his lips, basically being like, oh my gosh, they got caught, or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
it's just a question of how long do you want them to be the core hobbits, right?
Correct.
Do we have them all going to Mount Doom or not? I think that's really where we're going.
Yeah, I think probably not, and because we want Merry and Pippin to get their war experience like they did.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
They would both fight for Rohan instead of Pippin being for Gondor, because Gondor's kind of corrupted at this point. You know what I mean?
Does Saruman go back to Orthanc, or he's already in Gondor? So maybe he stays in Gondor, but someone's gonna go back to Orthanc and do the Isengard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because maybe on their way back, the Treebeard thing still happens again. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe after the discussions with Denethor, when he feels comfortable, if he's like, okay, I'm gonna go tend to my castle, but we are still in cahoots. Boromir, you got this, and I will be in advisory as you need me, but I'm going back to deal with this, and I'm going to create an army for us against Sauron.
Yeah, so, dude, okay. How about this? Love it. Same exact thing's happening. But let's say Pippin and Merry diverge off the hobbits, right? They go, hey, by the way, they realize the error in their way, but now they can't get back to Frodo and Sam. But they're now connecting the dots and going, oh my gosh, this Gollum creature, this might be our undoing. And let's just say they were classic Merry and Pippin. They weren't paying attention to Lothlorien. They didn't know the level or degree of the disease that was happening here. Yeah. So they were going, well, we can't consult with Gandalf. Gandalf's not here. I have no idea where anyone else is. The only other person that could possibly help us is someone who's relatively, powerful. Let's go back to Isengard and talk with Saruman, and maybe we can figure something out.
Yeah.
Just in case. So maybe that's when they start going to Isengard, and that's when they start realizing corruption.
He just had a different idea, but he's still technically on our side. That was kind of the right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no,
yeah,
you're our prisoner. But then they escape into Fanghorn Forest.
Exactly, and then
Gandalf's
that's where
there. He meets.
Yeah, and then that's where maybe when Merry and Pippin are like divulging everything, because maybe like the hobbits are nimble, so maybe they are in Isengard. They start overhearing Saruman's plans. They leave for Fangorn Forest.
Yeah.
They then talk to Gandalf. Gandalf then goes, oh my gosh, I need to ride to whatever they're collecting or meeting. And then that's when the Treebeard thing also happens.
Tony, this is
because I like how we're keeping the same events. Like, we're keeping the core events, but we're switching the motives.
But I just had something. This is totally Merry and Pippin.
Please.
They're 100%. They're on their way to Isengard to talk to Saruman.
Yeah.
But they stumble upon the that storage shed that he has.
Oh.
And they smell the pipeweed. So they go in there like, well, we could stop for a smoke, right?
Yeah.
That's just their MO.
What is the Eith's Farthing? They're like the best pipeweed.
Yeah,
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
So they light it up, right? They're having a good time, but then they hear like these orcs coming. So they quickly put it out, right? But they don't know any difference because the whole thing smells like pipeweed, right?
Yeah.
But then they overhear the plan, right? And they're like, "Oh man, we can't go to Saruman," kind of deal. So they're like, "Where do we go?" We run to the forest, and they get picked up by the ants, right?
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking. Is they overhear it from the orcs in the shed because they're, screwing off because they're Merry and Pippin trying to get pipeweed or drink or something,
Yeah. So it's called Long Bottom Leaf.
Long Bottom Leaf. Yeah. Neville should have been on. Yeah.
Yeah. The other one is Old Toby. That's what Bilbo says.
Correct.
Bilbo's an Old Toby guy. They're
Long Bottom. Yeah.
They're Long Bottom Leaf. So it was just funny I swear I didn't look that up. I definitely looked it up. But I had to look that up because I was like, this is gonna frustrate me. I did not know Long Bottom Leaf. Because they bring it up and like they talk in the old Treebeard accent too. So I think that's perfect. So now we've got our Treebeard, our Isengard, our setup. Even if it's not even, for all intents and purposes, if it's not even Saruman, right? Maybe it is Saruman and events still play out. Like maybe that'd be easier. We're kind of, coming up on time. Let's just say it is Saruman. We're leading up to this point. I think the rest of the events start playing out. I still think that maybe there is a contingent now because now this whole Osgiliath thing never happens because, Faramir doesn't feel like he needs to throw his life away because Boromir is alive and well, but he doesn't recognize the Gondor that he knows and loves.
Right.
So as he's getting more time, and since he let go of Frodo, basically Denethor like banishes them and be like, "Don't even come back because I will kill you." Yeah. Like you've done treason against your own home country. Mm-hmm. So then maybe that's when we get Faramir to go off and goes, well, we got to do something to help because something's going on here. He's realizing the blights that's happening in his own halls.
Yeah.
So maybe that's when they either meet up with the dwarves, the elves, whatever. But now we have a contingency. So let's say now Gandalf still goes to Rohan. So now we have a group of men from Rohan. We have a group of men from Gondor.
Yep.
True Gondorians, which are the Rangers of Faramir. Mm-hmm. And then, so now we have everyone representative. We have the elves, the dwarfs, humans, Gondor, Rohan, and Istari. So we have Gandalf the White and Radagast brown/gray. Mm-hmm. Maybe he field promotes Radagast to the gray. You know what I mean?
Field pro.
Put on the
I love that.
Put on the gray robe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
I'm
maybe
not
there's-
using it. This is
Yeah,
for you.
yeah. This one's in the house, you know.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he gives him his old staff or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
And then maybe right when he touches it, maybe that's when.
Oh, like it just like transforms.
Yeah.
Like
Beauty
there's
and the
like a-
Beast.
Yeah. Like a Pokemon evolution. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
now becomes There's something
That
fun
would
about
be,
that.
That would be cool.
Because it's like, there's something inherently like the staffs are, these focuses that they can, definitely wield things with magic wise, but who's to say that there's not, opposite way where magic can then get wielded into them. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're having fun. Still better writing than Rings of Power. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Nah, or let's maybe start on a positive note. But Mark, I think overall that'd be so solid. And I think the events still kind of play out. There's going to be a pretty big epic battle.
Yeah.
I think the might of Mordor with Gondorians, I think there's going to be this really big, weird, like, Gondorians are going to be like, what are we doing? Why are we fighting against brother? Like, what's happening here? Maybe there's a coup.
Or it's like a battle. Pelennor feels is more of a civil war, right? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
But
Or
I think-
something like that.
Yeah, but so there still has to be that last moment of they're like, we
Yeah.
do one final ride. So what if it's like they're like, hey, someone's cooing against Gondor. So now here's all the the basically the good force, the bad force, quote unquote, is now Gondorians, and now it's like this weird like, hey, we should be doing this. Like they're gonna try to explain it, and whether they engage in battle or not would be cool. But at one point, that's when like they're so focused on this tension rising. That's when basically the forces of Mordor have everything surrounded.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's when they start realizing, whoa, the gig's up. We thought we were strong, but we didn't realize that they were going to get such a force. So we either had to play that we're into the armies of Mordor, or we got to like turn tail. You know what I mean? But at that point, like maybe that's when Frodo puts the ring in the fire and everything like that. So the ending probably could use a little work.
Yeah.
But we are up on time a little bit.
But I like it.
I really like it.
Peter Jackson, if you want the ending, hire us.
Yeah, please. Exactly. Yeah. This is our resume.
Yeah.
If you really want the good idea,
Everybody tag Peter Jackson. It's fine.
please.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's already gonna get tagged. We said his name enough. Yeah. But no, I really love What Ifs. It feels like a ride of room in here.
I know.
Right?
I love it. I love it too. It's so easy. It's kind of our bread and butter.
It's so good.
And it's when we truly get to like riff and do what we love, Tony. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It requires the least, actually, like no research, right? We just kind of,
Which is so funny
right.
because it's like of all the things we do, historically, this is the least amount of notes because inevitably when we did write notes on What Ifs, we found that we would. You would
we're
say a
just way
point,
off,
I would
way-
say
yeah.
a point, and it would take us into a different trajectory. It's kind of like D&D in a sense, where it's like you really need improvisation skills
Yes.
to go in and
To
go,
do it
what's
and-
happening. Because there's a lot of things that I love when we go back and forth like that. It's fantastic. And
Absolutely.
sorry, I felt like I was taking the thing, but like, I
No,
just felt
yeah.
like, it was cooking. I felt good in the creative sense. So it's always so much fun to think about this. And now that we have less podcasts, it's like we can really
just expand and do
expand
it.
and dive down. So that's another reminder for, of course, our podcast listeners. We talked about it earlier in the episode where we were trying to schedule out for the year. But once again, having one episode per month, just, really trying to make sure we're getting some good quality products out there for you guys. And then also making sure that logistically we're keeping our heads above water, behind the curtain and everything with the podcast and family life and work
gets
life
busy,
and everything.
As the listeners know, life gets busy.
Oh, for sure.
And it's just with us. So we have to adapt and change, but we knew we didn't want to end it, so
Exactly.
we're doing what we can.
We just said we're revectored, we're
Correct.
reoptimized.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
We're going to disrupt the apple cart. We're doing everything here. So,
Yeah.
it's all good. And, after this reorg, our stockholders are going to be through the roof. So, we should probably have our stockholder meeting at some point. But
Correct. Right.
if anyone wants to buy us, we'll go public. All
Yeah,
right?
right.
Yeah. Just don't dilute my shares, Mark. All right.
know,
I've seen the
I won't.
social media.
I
You know
won't,
what I mean? Yeah. I'll put your name on the masthead, or our names are already on the masthead. But
Right.
it's funny to think about like that as a company. But no, we are never. We are not paid. We are not a company. No company affiliations. But
We're open to it.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe. Yeah.
But no, Mark. I totally appreciate it. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, as always, thanks for listening, everybody, and always please reach out with questions, mix-ups, what ifs. It's the new year, so we need more inputs, we need more questions, we need more ideas. So please reach out.
Yeah, as always. If you ask, hey, well, how can we reach out? That can be at X or Instagram at the Live of the Floor Pod, Or you can also email us at the livelaughfloorpod@gmail.com. That's livelaughfloorpod, P-O-D, @gmail.com.
And I'm going to put this plug out for everybody, please. We just need more X followers. Just even if you are not an X user, just go on there, give us a follow.
Yep.
Because I retweet every time we have an episode. So a follow would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I was about to say, Instagram's our bread and butter, but hey.
Instagram's great, but I know you post all the time, Tony, and I try to post every time when we do for X, and so we just need more followers, and I'm
Love it.
retweeting it, so just a little plug. So anyway, thanks, guys.